Here's the promised video that explains more in depth the history of boudoir photography. Boudoir photography stands out for its unapologetic celebration of the femininity of real women in a world that distorts women's bodies on every turn, giving rise to devastating self-esteem and destroyed self-image. It isn't about taking images of women in their lingerie. It's about documenting their powerful femininity, whether they are in lingerie or fully clothed. Boudoir photographs are a meaningful gaze and unapologetic energy. Revealing skin is not a prerequisite for femininity. You can have a boudoir photo shoot in little black dress or fully clothed because femininity is an attitude. Here's some history on boudoir photography. By all accounts, boudoir is a current hot topic, taking its rightful place as one of the photography's most respected and coveted genres. It's easy to believe that things have always been this way. However, boudoir photography has a history and it's multifaceted, so buckle up because we're going back in time. Pre-photography boudoir. Phoenician goddesses, Mesopotamia goddesses, and later on Greek goddesses are known for their sexy and alluring statues, presenting them in draping and sexy clothing. Most of the time, they show off their breasts. Being a sexy goddess has always been worship-worthy. Modern boudoir originates in France. Boudoir originates from the French verb bouder, which means to sulk. The boudoir evolved into a chamber where women might escape while sulking and resting. Early 20th century. Photography was scarce during this period, and nudity was outlawed. This was a terrible time for boudoir photography. We're moving to the 1920s. Entering the ready cameras eras, along with them, there came a revolution. The setting is the Roaring Twenties. The scene is in California. The photographer is Albert Arthur Allen. And nude photography is still prohibited. Still, Allen is a daring artist and determined to alter the course of photography and women's images and women's body image as we know it. And laws are only guidelines to him. In front of beautiful backdrops, Allen dared to photograph curvy ladies posing scandalously. He had no idea that his audacious move had established a framework for 21st century photography phenomena. The 1940s. Fast forward to the 40s and boudoir photography is extraordinarily taken off. Curvy pinup beauties are more frequent in photographs, maintaining a revolutionary feel. They pose in weirdly gorgeous countercultural outfits, with corsets and men's ties being a common combination for that era. The pinup girls' illustrations were used in military recruitment posters during World War II. It was called the Golden Age of Pinup. The pinup artists were commissioned to create exotic pinup illustrations to raise soldiers' morale, and the most famous pinup poster was Rosie the Riveter, We Can Do It poster by Miller, featuring a girl in famous blue shirt and red headband. It represented the empowerment of the American women during that time. The 50s. Founded in 1953 in Chicago by Hugh Hefner, the first Playboy magazine issue featured Marilyn Monroe on the cover. The magazine promoted the concept of sex as recreation. Erotic photography gained popularity and became a national interest in direct correlation with Playboy magazine. The 1970s. The 70s marked the next major step in the development of boudoir photography, emerging as a legitimate art in the art scene. This was the period of bra burning and emancipation in the United States. Society could no longer deny that women had bodies, and women desired to reclaim control of them. As a result, what were once merely drawings of ladies in magazines as pinups, it became images of real women. And as the idealized female body became the norm, boudoir photography's social acceptability skyrocketed. The present. Boudoir photography, once an underground activity, first became a popular add-on for wedding photographers and later on evolved into a standalone business by itself. It became a trend for brides to give a boudoir album for their groom on their wedding night. However, the average boudoir subject's profile has shifted in the recent years, as women of various ages, sizes, and socioeconomic backgrounds have been known to enjoy the boudoir experience for its many benefits. I've had clients from all walks of life who who just wanted their boudoir photos taken for various reasons. From mothers reclaiming who they are as women after they lost themselves to raising children, and professional women who spent the biggest chunk of their adult life chasing their careers, femininity isn't limited by a number, and a woman doesn't stop feeling like a woman as she grows wiser. I've also worked with trans women who couldn't wait to celebrate their newly found femininity. I've had clients in their early 20s to women in their 50s and 60s reaffirming their feminine energy and power throughout a boudoir photo shoot. Boudoir has came a long way since its secret origins. All the detours along the way have resulted in the boudoir photography that we know and love for its acceptance, charm, and luxury. With social media setting what feels like the impossible standards, and society telling us that we need to look or be in certain way, boudoir photos are a refreshing reminder that we're all unbelievably beautiful, powerful, and desirable just as we are. It celebrates the feminine form, finding strength in softness and beauty in vulnerability. Boudoir photography is all about embodying your femininity and reaffirming your worth as a sexy woman to yourself before anyone else. For many women, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I hope you enjoyed this video on the history of boudoir photography. If you have more questions, let me know and I'm happy to share with you. I wrote a whole book on boudoir photography and femininity and how it changes the world and how it empowers women. I hope you enjoyed this brief history on boudoir photography. If you would like me to read you a little bit chapters from my book, please let me know. Otherwise, you can find it on Amazon or other venues as ebook or as a printed book.